Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Redevelopment Agency meeting of December 19, 2007 is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. The Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, can be viewed on the city's website at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. and also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. As we always indicate at the start of these meetings, we have a state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system in the building here, so if alarms should activate during the meeting, please leave through the exits, and once outside, assemble on the Las Vegas Boulevard side of the property, and employees wearing safety vests or our city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. No reason to believe that will happen, but that's a precautionary announcement that we've been asked to make. Item number 3 is approval of the final minutes by reference to the regular Redevelopment Agency meeting of October 17, 2007. May I have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor. No additions or deletions. I'd like a motion for approval of the minutes.
All right, let's vote, please. Post. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 4, by the way, Councilman Wilson indicated yesterday that he may have to arrive late this morning. He's excused until he gets here. Item number 4 is discussion and possible action on the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency Component Unit Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for fiscal year 2007. Mr. Vincent.
Thank you, Your Honor. Council, Mark Vincent, Director of Finance and Business Services. Item 4 is our annual financial report called the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. And this year's theme, by the way, you'll notice that we always have a little theme. This year's theme is East Fremont, the entertainment district. Hopefully folks will appreciate that. It's a great new development down there with improvements that we've made through our SAD process. If I can have the PowerPoint, there it is. The audit was conducted in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards and government auditing standards. It's an unqualified opinion, which is a accountant's way of saying it's a clean opinion, everything is fine. They also found no instances of material noncompliance or internal control weaknesses that they would have to report in accordance with government auditing standards, the NRS requirements, or OMB Circular A133, which is the single audit provision. I want to just quickly highlight some of the financial results. This slide here shows financial performance for the last 4 years. You can see that from 2005 to 2007, we have seen over 80% increase in our tax income, and that's, again, as a direct result of the work that you have done with the Office of Business Development and the Redevelopment. I expect this trend to continue. Our budget for 2008, current year, is about $19.5 million. It probably will come in slightly higher than that. That would be about a 13 to 14% increase. With respect to fund balances, we've had an increase in fund balances. The special revenue fund balance there is predominantly, a lot of that is with respect to the remodeling of the Fifth Street School. So,
by the way, were we self-insured on that, or did we have insurance on the fire?
The contractor, by contract, the general contractor had to assume liability for that and had to provide insurance for that.
Okay.
Our net assets, again, are continuing to grow, and a lot of that is a result of our property holdings and the increase in the valuation of the property holdings as well. So unless you have any questions, that's the presentation.
Very good. Are there any questions of Mr. Vincent at this time? Any comments? All right, thank you for the report. May I have a motion, please?
Yes, Your Honor. I move to approve the report, please.
All right, let's vote, please. Post. Not on mine, but it was on Councilor Brown's.
Shown on mine.
Okay. Motion carried. All right. Item number 5 is RA 20-2007, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution finding the project proposed by the commercial VIP agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency and Strata Vegas LLC, located at 2305 East Bonanza Road, It's a redevelopment agency special revenue fund. It's in Ward 3, and the item is related to Council Item 64 this afternoon. There's a companion item, although a different address, but same project. Item number 6 is RA 21-2007, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution finding the project proposed by the commercial VIP agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency and Strata Vegas, located at 2333 24 to 2421 East Bonanza Road in Ward 3. Before we start, I had a conversation with the Mayor Pro Tem. His place of business is in this particular shopping center. He has not been involved at all in the negotiations here or discussions with the city. To the contrary, when he found out about them, he went to Mr. Chervick, our city attorney, made full disclosures there. He will be abstaining on this matter.
I'd like to read a statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw it covered.
Yeah, you did very well. Okay. This application is for the shopping center, which my barber shop has leased space and operated since 1959, the oldest barber shop in Las Vegas. I've been there over 40 years. I'm also the property manager for the shopping center, and for these reasons I have declined to discuss this application with either the property owner or the city staff responsible for handling the application. I have no specific knowledge of the visual improvement plans being considered, and I have avoided all discussion on this item with members of the city council. Because of my relationship to the shopping center and its owners, I will be abstaining from this discussion and not vote on this item. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Adams?
Good morning. Scott Adams, the Operations Officer of the Redevelopment Agency. We have actually, you'll notice a little bit of a difference in the agenda this morning. We worked with the Attorney's Office and streamlined the agenda items so that the resolution of findings and the approval of the actual agreement on our VIP items are now consolidated into one resolution. So you see two items on the RDA agenda, one for VIP for a Smart and Final building, which is in the Vegas Plaza at the northwest corner of Bonanza and Eastern. The second item, item number 6, respects the balance of that plaza, which is a VIP for the rest of the strip center development that's located at that same location. If I could get the overhead. Okay, we've got the PowerPoint on now that I'm going to be doing later. I don't have the.
It's up. We can see it.
Oh, okay, it's on the right-hand side there. Okay. If you notice, on the right-hand side is the Smart and Final building, and the lower-hand picture is the way it looks today, and then the upper-hand picture is the improvements that the property owner is planning to make to that particular building. On the left-hand side is the actual balance of the rest of the strip center, and the lower picture as well, existing. On the upper picture, some improvements planned. Now, these are very substantial visual improvements that the property owner plans to make to both of these properties, to include signage, facade treatment, some new addition of materials, and this is definitely going to make a tremendous improvement to this strip center, to take what is really kind of a 60s vintage plaza and bring it to present day in terms of its overall look. And it's one of those that we believe will make a tremendous catalytic impact to the surrounding area on that portion of the Eastern Avenue and Bonanza Avenue corridors. Each of these requests is for $50,000, and the property owner, as you can tell, will be matching substantially greater than that with their portion of the improvements for each of these respective VIP grants. There is a representative here representing the ownership of the property. If you have any questions about their plans, and staff recommends approval of both of these requests. There is companion items on the City Council agenda, and I remind you that these items are not, your action taken at the RDA meeting is not final until those actions are taken later on at the City Council meeting.
All right, thank you. Any questions of Mr. Adams?
I don't have a question, Your Honor,
Ms. Councilman.
but if I may, I have a comment. These are the kind of projects, Mr. Adams, when we have an opportunity as the City of Las Vegas to help inspire property owners in the older parts of the City of Las Vegas, especially in the downtown area. This is a good thing, a good project, and we hopefully other property owners in the older parts of the city are watching this, so they can follow the example of this property owner with these two parcels. This is a good thing for the city. It's a good thing, of course, for them for business, but it's wonderful that we have the opportunity to help them get that started. Did you have a dollar amount to the total that the property owner is going to be investing in the
I
property?
think that might be a great question to ask the owner of the property. He would be able to tell you all about their plans for the development.
Well, I can tell you that...
Could you tell us your name first,
Well, hi,
please?
yes. My name is Jeff Mayhew. I represent Strata Vegas LLC, the owner of the shopping center. And we have on the application, I believe, a total of $1.1 million designated for the facade. And I can tell you that that number's probably light. One of the things when you're doing a remodel like this, it seems to take on a life of its own with all the different nuances and requirements that come on board. But one of the things we tried to do here, as you hopefully you can see from the design, was to create something that would be by far the nicest center in the area. When I talked to Steve Van Gorp originally at the Redevelopment Agency, we were going over what ideas he might have. He said, you know what you should really try to do, drive through Summerlin, try to bring a touch of Summerlin to downtown. And so I literally took him at his word and drove through Summerlin, drove through the district down in Henderson, and tried to get something that would bring some of those elements downtown, making it very architecturally exciting, but at the same time trying to make certain that it caters to the community. And you can't see all of this here, what we tried to do, but basically take this design that's somewhat avant-garde, but yet make it people-friendly so the Hispanic community can still get a sense that there's a plaza there, that they can congregate, that it's not going to be intimidating. So we think we've accomplished this, and we're excited about the design. We could have certainly gotten a lot cheaper. By just redoing that facade, it would have cost us significantly less. By just doing what a lot of people have done and just take off the facade and then put awnings in the front, maybe make a higher elevation, it would have cost us significantly less. But to do that in the southern elevation, we felt it was not good for the tenants. So we had to make a compromise, and this was the one that was, and it's not a compromise, unfortunately for us, but it's going to be beautiful.
All right, thank you.
Can I ask one more question?
Certainly.
Obviously, you guys have done traffic counts at that intersection and recognized the large flow of potential customers in that plaza. Are there future plans for that corner? I mean, I think you have a wonderful opportunity there to do great things on that corner and take advantage of that.
Well, we do have some future plans, and, oh, thank you. And I don't know if this is... What we'd like to do, and I don't know if you can see this, is we would like to put a pad here in the center. And right now, we have a letter of intent from Bank of America who would like to go on the pad. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
We have a letter of intent from Bank of America. We are negotiating with a couple of major anchor tenants for this space here, both of which would be, and we have one earmark that we really would like, both of which would be an improvement and bring in generate a lot of traffic. But one of the tenants is concerned about this pad, primarily because there's a big elephant in town and they can be concerned about it. So that's been our biggest thing, because we would like to keep the pad because we think Bank of America or a bank like that really does serve the community. Plus, it helps shield the old 7-Eleven from the rest of the center, because that's sort of our eyesore here. We've got the 7-Eleven with the trash backing up to us. So if we can seal that off in some way with some space, it helps us tremendously. So those are the two next things we want to do, and we're going to try to work that out over the next, the next couple of weeks or so. Provided, of course, that the city, likes the idea of the pad too.
All right, thank you. Very good. Any other comments or questions? All right. Did you want to be heard? All right.
I'm a Las Vegas resident. I wish to be heard just briefly enough to recommend that you approve both items. And in passing, here's a picture of the newest barber shop, City of Las Vegas, which will be located in Fremont East. It's called Harmony House. You can get a haircut and listen to a barbershop quartet at the same time. Thanks.
All right.
Good morning. My name is Anthony Hardy, 123 Sir David. Smart and Final has been a part of this community for a long time. And it's always sold stuff where the people in the community, the ones that didn't have much, could buy a large buck and take care of their families. And then they start all these stores, Walmart and the rest of them doing their thing. But Smart and Final has always been a part of the community. And if you're going to beautify that area and keep that store in the area and build things around it and try to bring things back into the downtown area. And Bonanza is one of the oldest famous streets in the town. Easton is the cross street. But anyway, I'm just saying, this is a beautiful project, and I recommend that we pass it.
All right, anybody else? It's going to be one of those days.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, Council. I'm sorry, I was arranging my things back there. I have so many. Oh, yes, my name is Teddy Russell. I'm a resident of Las Vegas. Something about an old barber. Has anybody ever met this barber? Where does he come from? Who is he anyway?
That's okay.
Nonetheless, you will be shocked to hear that we have tremendous influence with the Bank of America. I forgave Bank of America. Wasn't that magnanimous of me?
I think that's enough. It's enough this morning.
That's enough.
Thank you. All right.
I recommend approval.
Thank you.
Wholeheartedly.
Very good. All right. Anybody else want to be heard? All right, then I'm going to turn to Councilman Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to follow staff recommendation for approval.
That's on item 5, please. Let's vote. Post. Motion carries. And item 6, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to follow staff recommendation for approval.
Thank you. Please vote. Post. Motion carries. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 7 is report and possible action regarding redevelopment agency projects currently under contract or negotiation, other projects proposed or other construction within or near the redevelopment area, and to provide an overview of programs and initiatives basically applying towards 1, 3, and 5. Mr. Adams.
Okay, this is, we haven't given this in quite some time in terms of the routine quarterly PowerPoint update, and I'm going to try to walk you through if I can figure out how to make this work. Usually pretty good at this, but this is a challenge. Okay. There we go. There we go. We've got it. What you're going to notice a little bit different format. I thought it'd be interesting to use the format that we used for the presentation that we made when we visited the investment firms in New York City. A lot of this follows somewhat that same theme in terms of presenting the progress and momentum that we've achieved in the redevelopment area, in particular with a focus on downtown. I'm going to start with the Union Park District. And I know I don't need to remind everybody about the big buildings that are going up out at World Market Center. Phase 1 and 2 are complete. The 2 comprised 3 million square feet. The third building is currently under construction. They will be building a parking garage as part of that development for 3,600 spaces. You see here in the upper left-hand shot what those 3 buildings will look like when they're complete. And in the lower shot, you see the actual construction of that third building and how those 3 will form up. When complete, they'll have over 5 million square feet of space. They usually add their tents to the show, which add roughly another 400,000 feet, and then they usually lease 1 million square feet of space somewhere, such as Mandalay Bay or somewhere else. And this really gives them a significant amount of space now that they can show in their semi-annual show. This shows what all of the buildings will look like, all 8 phases, which will now comprise, actually they told us verbally that it'd be 12.9 million square feet upon build-out. This is a shot of Union Park. As you know, we've been working our way through different agreements with different developers for the master plan of Union Park. The master plan is in the upper left, the bird's eye view is in the lower right-hand corner. This is a shot of the Smith Center for the Performing Arts. I think this is probably the first time we've actually shown this now in the PowerPoint update. This is a model in the upper left-hand corner of what it'll look like. And then a shot in the lower right is the interior of Bass Hall in Fort Worth, which is designed by the same architect who's designing the Smith Center. As you know, they just recently received a major commitment or gift of $100 million. When combined with all of the other funding, they believe now they're able to build the entire project in one single phase as opposed to having to do it and break it down in individual phases. The total build-out of this block, as they anticipate, they expect to be somewhere in the vicinity of $500 million. This is a shot of the Lou Ruvo Brain Institute. Again, I think we are all familiar with the sketch or the model of what it'll look like. In the upper left-hand corner, lower right, is the actual construction out on site. And as you notice in the detail of that shot, they are actually bending the steel, the structural steel on site to accept the unique design and features that will go on this building as designed by Frank Gehry. World Jewelry Center, this is a more recent photo of, or sketch of what this building will look like, and the lower right-hand corner is the location of the World Jewelry Center in the context of the master plan of Union Park. Again, this is going to be a 1.3 million square foot building. The upper floors, you see the very tip top of that building, glass. Those will be condominium units for sale, residential units by preferably persons who would, or businesses that would take space in the building. The rest of the tower would be office space, and then at the lower level be 3 levels of jewelry-focused retail development. Newland Communities is committed to the area in red in the overall master plan. Those are the 6 blocks that we've committed, you have to them under our master agreement. They plan to start Block F, which is at the very center of those blocks, the midpoint of next year. This is a shot of moving to the left of Newland's block, what the Charlie Palmer Boutique Hotel will look like. This is their latest rendering or sketch of architecture of how this building will look. And then in the lower right-hand corner, the location of where that building will be on the master plan for Union Park. Live Work Las Vegas. Again, this is one of those that's got many moving parts. As you know, we've entered into an exclusive negotiating agreement with the partnership of Live Work Las Vegas Forest City Enterprises. We're looking at a swap of this site on Union Park, which is the only site on Union Park that's been designated for hotel casino development. The plan here is for about a 1,000-room casino hotel. And then we would trade for the block, the upper block, the kind of one that sticks out in that light green area on the left-hand sketch, for development of a new city hall. In the lower right-hand sketch, it really gives you a shot of what those 2 areas look like and how they work together, the proximity of each other. You see their master plan for Live Work there with the 3 towers coming out of it, and then the upper right, the corner of Union Park, how that casino hotel would be developed. We have had some very good negotiations very recently with Live Work and the Forest City Partnership regarding how this trade would be affected, how they could facilitate the city and development of City Hall, and we're very excited about bringing this forward at some point in the future with an actual development agreement. Access Medical, and they will be on the City Council agenda later today for an extension of their E&A. They are moving forward in their due diligence process to do master planning for their block, site planning work for the development of a medical office building and a Kimpton Hotel. Now, they have inked a deal with Kimpton Hotel, who would build a 400-unit boutique hotel on the site. Then there would be 180,000 square feet of medical office building developed, anchored by a major institute or clinic, and then there would be a symbiotic relationship between the hotel and the clinic, where persons coming in to take advantage of healthcare services would stay in the hotel. The Las Vegas Premium Outlets has been moving along with their completion of their expansion plans. You see on the left-hand side their parking garage development. On the lower right-hand shot is their site plan for expansion. Everything in the blue in the lower right-hand corner is their existing mall. Everything in the orangish yellow is expansion space. They're expanding their retail center out into their former parking area. They've completed their 2 parking garages that gives them the ability to now park the entire development. And this is one that I've mentioned before. We point to as a success story in retail development downtown. They were initially apprehensive to come into downtown. They've indicated They're doing very, very good numbers here. This is one of their strongest performing developments in their entire national portfolio, and it proves that retail works downtown.
Your Honor, can I stop him right there?
Certainly.
For a minute. Mr. Adams, that corner there off Grand Central Parkway and Bonneville, the Mark Fine
Yes.
organization owns that parcel. Any movement or anything, any news on that?
We're hearing that they are forming up plans for that site. You know, as time goes on and you see the Ruvo Institute develop, World Market Center, that site becomes more valuable over time, and we're hopeful that they will be coming in here fairly soon with a rework of their mixed-use development. They were entitled for a development that involved a mix of uses, and we're hoping they'll be coming back here soon with plans for a development on that property.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Very good.
The Mulaski Corporate Center is now open. This is a LEED certified building, 285,000 square feet of space. If you haven't been to this building, you need to visit it. It's a phenomenal building. It really has set a whole new standard for office development in the valley, and really positioned downtown as a place that we believe we can grow corporate office space. I think an important note here is also they have incredible retail tenants in the ground floor to include downtown's first fitness center, the 24-hour fitness facility.
And maybe you could touch on that, too, if you have any information about it. I'd love to have the people in the downtown participate in the health program that they have over there. I understand that the Mulaski people are offering a very reasonable, I'm not trying to hawk for them, but as I understand it, well, the Mayor Pro Tem, what is the fee structure over there?
Well, again, I'm sorry. Again, when I went over there and signed up, the prices kind of scared me. And then when I told them that I worked at City Hall, they said, "Oh!" And they get out this other little book, and they start going over here, and it was like $49.75 a month for a regular person coming in off the street, which I don't agree with. But again, though, because of my association with the city, I got $21.95 a month. My wife gets it for $17.95. I got two stepdaughters that may join, and they even go down lower and stuff. So for a family of 4 or 5, city employees can get in down there probably for less than $50 a month. And again, everything over there, all the equipment is brand new. They have TVs that people can watch while they're working out and stuff. I really find it enjoyable. I've been walking for quite a while, but going over there right now, I do have a fitness expert that is going to teach me how to eat and drink and work the machines and stuff. So right now, all I'm using is the treadmill. But again, though, it's really a unique opportunity for residents of downtown to be able to use a facility like this. And like I say, all the equipment is brand new, and I really enjoy it, Mayor.
And I'm always happy to teach you how to drink.
Yeah.
You knew that was coming. Okay.
Well, we didn't set it for him, though.
All right.
Just a quick recap here, and we have more. There are 160 projects in progress, $1.6 billion under construction. We still have $20 billion in the pipeline. One of the biggest is, of course, the REI Pulse project. We have an MOU extension on the agenda later on this morning. This is a shot of their first phase in the left-hand side, the property boundary on the right-hand side. Walking through some of the residential developments, Soho Loss is open. Newport Loss is open. Allure is complete, and they've done very well on their sale. Jewel is moving right along, and this is one that is very unique in that it has 3 or 4 different types of residential styles within the same development wrapped around a parking garage. Streamline Tower, which is, of course, kitty corner from City Hall, is moving along. We all see this progress daily. Perhaps the really interesting aspect of this is their ground floor is in the entertainment district, and we've been actively, and I'll touch on this in just a moment, working with all of those that have ground floor space to attract retail into the ground level. There's another unique project done by Ken Wilson, the Avenue at 621 South Tonopah, which is just a few very upscale units in terms of condos. In that location, I'm bringing in some new projects into this one that you haven't seen in a while. Urban Lofts, they've completed and sold out of their first phase, And then they've got several other sites are working. They're now working Fremont and 19th. They're entitling and working through due diligence on Stewart and Mojave. Those sites are in the lower shots. Moving into entertainment projects in the Fremont East District, of course, we had the grand opening there. There is going to be a major new club on the corner where the old 7-Eleven space is, called the Hive, that's just recently signed a lease at that location. Beauty Bars continues to do well. The Griffin, the Tattoo Parlor, these are all former VIP recipients in terms of our participation with the signage and stimulating more activity along that area. This is an interior shot of the downtown cocktail room that faces Las Vegas Boulevard that's doing very well. I don't stay out this late at night, but I understand that when you're here late nights on weekends, it is absolutely crowded in this area, and they're all doing very, very well. Another project that you have entitled that's moving along is 760 Fremont. This is the old dealer school site block where the venue of Vegas is planning a large one-block development which should be themed and have a number of venues inside it. I did visit in a recent trip to Scottsdale, their Scottsdale project called the Venue of Scottsdale, which is a very successful project in their Scottsdale Entertainment District, so it's a good reference for what they can do here. The block on 3rd Street continues to do well. The Pint and Hennessy's, Mickey Finn's are all doing very well. I know Paul Hennessy has plans for additional venues in that location as well. The Canyon Club, I think a number of us went to the Canyon Club at the annual FSC luncheon, and I think everybody's amazed when they go in the Canyon Club that we have this quality and scale of club now in the Four Queens downtown. Moving into East and West Las Vegas, we continue to work with Alpha Omega on their project at 1501 Decatur through their environmental issues and working with them on their financing. West Las Vegas Grocery is moving along. We're very excited about this one. We believe that the outcome of their economic study will indicate positive results, that we hope they will be going to Kroger's and Food for Less's lease committee here very soon with a lease proposal, and we'll see a grocery store, a Food for Less at this location. This is a shot of the Bank America project and the site that the redevelopment agency owns at the corner of MLK and Washington. Recently conveyed that site under the disposition and development agreement. The site, lower right-hand corner, upper left, is a sketch of the full permanent branch that they'll be building to replace the modular branch that's at the opposite corner. Edmond Town Center, we continue to work with the owners of Edmond Town Center to find tenants for their property, in particular the focus on the Vaughn space. The RLT Corporation is open, their office and training facility in Enterprise Park, the FBI building. Cox Communications, they continue to work on their space and on their building. They've been parking some of their facility cars and vehicles in anticipation of the relocation of all their operations into this location. The Urban Chamber, we're working with them on their plan to get started with construction at that location. Expertise School of Beauty is open in Enterprise Park. And the Foundation for an Independent Tomorrow, if you remember, we're patient with them. They were out fundraising. They got the commitments they need to make this project happen, and now they are actually under construction. So you see the sketch of what this building will look like on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, they are now actually under construction. This will be an incredible job training facility to serve residents of the entire community, but certainly being located in West Las Vegas with a focus in that area. The casinos downtown have just been really stepping up. And, I think what they're now understanding is that the redevelopment of downtown is really helping them out. They're responding with investment, and I think leading the way for their size is the El Cortez. This shows their porte cochere. On the lower left-hand corner, the Ogden House, their planned boutique hotel that will be part of their project. And on the right-hand side, if you've not gone down the boulevard and seen their new promenade, you must take a look at it. It is absolutely tremendous. They spent over $1 million on their sign and their promenade with a whole new gateway and entry point from the boulevard back into the El Cortez.
Mayor Goodman?
Yeah.
You hit it right on the head. I made a note to ask you about the El Cortez because I I drive in every morning, and I come in off Las Vegas Boulevard, and this morning it was about 5:45, still dark, and I glance over to my left, and I see exactly what you show in this picture in the bottom right-hand corner. It's their, I'm going to call it their new entrance plaza on Las Vegas Boulevard, and it's phenomenal. I mean, it caught me off guard because it's that beautiful.
Yeah, the El Cortez is truly positioning itself to be one of the premier boutique casinos downtown. They are really reinvesting heavily back into their property. The Golden Nugget as well. The Golden Nugget's pool complex, all of the new improvements with their gaming floor, their tower, everything that they're doing is setting a new standard downtown. They have a lot of their Landry's products, restaurants in their facility. There are a number of great new restaurants now inside the Golden Nugget. We've been working diligently now with CIM on their evolution of their plans for both the Lady Luck itself and the block around the post office. One of the things that we've really been focusing on is how they can pull off the renovation of the post office as a mob museum in the first phase, coinciding with their build-out of the Lady Luck, and how with redevelopment agencies' assistance that can happen, that can be carried through their build-out of their master plan so that the post office and the Lady Luck all work together as a new magnet in that end of downtown. Other projects, as you know, we have been in full force at the 5th Street School with the renovation, and unfortunately, we recently had a fire there, and I thought I would take this as a point to address that issue. You see in the lower right-hand corner a shot of some of the damage that was done at the 5th Street School by that fire. Here's a few other shots. There's been a pretty thorough assessment of what that means, what the city or the redevelopment agency's liability would be. This project premise is owned by the contractor during the period of construction. We understand they've gotten their arms around an assessment of what it means, and surprisingly, it shouldn't delay much the completion of the 5th Street School. We believe now that the actual construction will be complete somewhere around May or June, with a move-in by tenants somewhere around July or late summer. So it really didn't terribly affect the timing of when this project will be complete and when tenants can actually move into the building. So I wanted to make that point during the presentation.
Mayor? Councilman Barlow.
Mayor, interject for a second. Mr. Adams, if you will, just for those who are just being brought up to speed as to the fire at the 5th Street School, is there anything that you can share for the listening audience as to the cause of that fire?
Well, it's our understanding there was an individual that, a homeless gentleman who actually started a fire there to cook food, and as a result of that fire, it started in the facility and grew a little bit, and then actually damaged one significant area of the building. Again, the damage was actually, I wouldn't say minimal, it's significant, but it doesn't materially affect the schedule. We were very concerned that it might delay by as much as a year, 6 months to a year, the completion of the project, but it looks right now like it might be only a few months.
And what was the, and if you will, what was the amount of damage as far as cost?
I'm not sure we got our complete arm around the final number on that one, but I would guess somewhere, roughly $1 million. But, you know, again, I wouldn't want to be held to that number because we haven't gotten a complete assessment of what it means financially. Again, I think the contractor has stepped up and looked at that from a liability standpoint. It should be carried by their liability insurance. Another project that you may have noticed on Las Vegas Boulevard is the Callister Reynolds Law Office Building. I think that's one of the things that starts to happen when you get a redevelopment program in full swing. You start to see smaller investments happen throughout the redevelopment area that take advantage of the upswing in activity and momentum occurring in the downtown area. We continue to work with CityMark on development of a plan to build attainable housing and a new retail presence on the Bulldog site. This is another shot of the parking garage at Casino Center Lewis, the Milan Brown garage. Another thing I thought I'd mention is that we do have, you'll see spread throughout downtown signs in a number of the vacant ground floor retail spaces. As you know, the Centennial Plan requires ground floor retail space when developers build downtown. And we have launched with the development community, the retail development community of downtown, the Office of Business Development, and the redevelopment agency staff, Retail Downtown Las Vegas, a theme program to promote the availability of this ground floor retail space to tenants who would have interest in moving into downtown. So it's to attract national and homegrown tenants, it's to fill that ground floor space, and in particular, we're working in a concerted effort to attract a grocer somewhere downtown as part of this overall initiative. The things that we're offering is our incentive programs. As you know, we have our VIP program. That's something we can use. We've got expedited city assistance. We're providing the market information. We now have a complete packet put together with demographics and all the information to sell downtown. And then we are also making business retention assistance available to retail tenants who are currently here and want to expand or stay in the downtown area, and even look at expanding existing retail tenants into some of that new space. Good example of a ground floor fill that I've mentioned before is a Potato Valley Cafe that filled some of the ground floor retail space at Lockton. So that's an overview of the activities with an emphasis on some of the newer things that have been happening downtown, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Just as a statement, I went over to a groundbreaking at the Verge at Main and Stewart, and I was delighted to hear that they're 80% pre-sold, and they're taking the product off of the market to see how the prices may rise as a result of their pre-sales. But they were very optimistic and indicated that they will be up by 2009, which is good for the downtown.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I just would like to say that all the times that this item is listed, it says wards 1, 3, and 5. And I know I've worked with your department, Brad, and I know you're trying to help, but I would like to emphasize that not one time today or in the previous times is there a Ward 1 activity. And I just want the council members to be aware of that, because we're supposed to be part of that, and we need to have some help in our area too, in Ward 1. And we're listed as that, but we're not being part of it. And so I thank you for the help you're giving, and I'm just saying this, so I hope you continue to work hard and try and help us in Ward 1, and I just want the other members of the council to be aware of that.
Okay.
Mayor?
Thank you. Yes, Councilor Barlow.
Yes, if you don't mind if I chime in. Mr. Adams, thank you so much for the great presentation. So often, residents and inside of Ward 5 as well as outside of Ward 5 believe that there's no activity taking place in Ward 5. And what was demonstrated today was 90+% of everything that you showed in this presentation were Ward 5 developments, which I am very proud of, because this is something that I've been expressing to residents and others who ask what's happening in Ward 5. And so I'm glad that you were able to bring forward this presentation to show all of the developments that are taking place. Over 90% of everything that you showed today were Ward 5 projects, and I'm very proud to say that these projects are enhancing not just Ward 5, but the city of Las Vegas as a whole, and it shows the synergy and the energy that this mayor and council is putting forth in order to bring more excitement and attract more entertainment into our city for not only the residents of the city, but for tourists alike. And so for that, I want to thank you and commend you for a great job, and well done.
Thank you. It's interesting, and I understand where Councilwoman Tarkanian is coming from, but the metamorphosis of the redevelopment program has been really a phenom. And maybe someday somebody will write a book about it. There was a time that nobody wanted to be anywhere near an area in the community that was being redeveloped. And now we see that the redevelopment is something that's good. And I know a lot of projects up on West Charleston that I'm very proud of, because that's the area where I live. There's some beautiful shopping centers that have been built up there, which I think are great for the area in very old parts of town, replacing conditions that really were almost at the point of being a blight, and now they're coming back. I don't know whether those folks actually came to us, though, for any kind of redevelopment help.
I don't think they did, and I don't think the areas you're talking about aren't as close, I think, to your area. But you know something, it's just that it's a magnificent thing that has occurred, and I think we should all be very proud of it. And those people who are members of the council before I even got on the council should be very proud. They laid the groundwork. I'm just trying to get a little bit.
No, I appreciate that. I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But anyway, thank you.
If I may, and Mr. Adams, I didn't see one of those projects in Ward 6 also. Actually, that was a great presentation.
If I could make a point, when we redevelop the heart of a city, it benefits the entire city, and it really raises the consciousness of the city to the entire country, and now the whole world. We're actually getting interest from all over the world. So I hope that what we do affects everybody in the community.
And if I can, Your Honor, follow through with that, that's absolutely correct. And what I was going to say, I wasn't going to say the Ward 6 thing, but what I was going to say was that presentation was fabulous. And like my colleagues and council members, often get questions about what is happening, Union Park, what's going on downtown, how's the redevelopment stuff going along, and I don't have all of the answers at my fingertips. Is it possible that you can prepare that document? Sure. So we have that for the council and the mayor at our fingertips, so we can just thumb to the page and say, look what's coming, because this is exciting stuff. When I talk to constituents, when I talk to businesses who may want to participate in the downtown area, I want them to know, and I want to have those answers for them. So if you could provide that PowerPoint for the council members,
yes,
that would be tremendous.
We do have this presentation, in particular the one we made in New York, both in a nice polished format and copies of the PowerPoint, so I'd be glad to make that available to anybody to meet your needs.
Yes, actually, I would like to have a copy of that, because I would like to take it on the road with me. During the first quarter of '08, I will be going on a tour of town hall meetings and neighborhood meetings throughout my district, and I would like to use that, this presentation, to basically take the show on the road, to show the residents throughout my district what's happening throughout Ward 5 and what it is that we're doing to basically, change the look and the image of the city as a whole. Thank you.
Councilor Wilson?
Mayor Goodman, thank you. I just wanted to make one follow-up comment to something you said, Scott. You used the word community, and I think we all need to recognize, and I know my colleagues do, and I've said this oftentimes publicly, that I consider myself a city councilman that has certainly a loyalty to my ward, Ward 2, certainly citywide, but I recognize that all of the decisions we make have an effect on this entire Las Vegas Valley, southern Nevada, because it's not like people don't drive across county and city boundaries. So what we're doing here in the city, whether it be Ward 5, 2, 6, 1, 3, affect everybody that lives in this valley. I do really think that our responsibility is not just to our city constituents, but it's to the entire Las Vegas Valley, and I just wanted to make that comment.
Well, the interesting thing is that much of what we've seen today is going to be passé very, very soon, because I'm making a prediction. Once the roof goes on the Lou Rouveau Brain Institute, once that Frank Gehry design is completed and the world has a chance to see it, Katie barred the door. It will be the most discussed piece of architecture in the world. I don't know for how long, but when it's up, people are going to say, wow, and it's going to have people fighting with one another, because some folks are going to love it, some folks are going to hate it, but everybody in the world is going to be looking right at that spot. There's no question in my mind about that. All right, may I have a motion to accept the report?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm going to make a motion. First, I'm going to get my 2 cents worth in here, too.
Please.
For many years, we've talked about redevelopment of our downtown area, and I can certainly appreciate that. But when you go look at other cities, particularly San Diego, they have something to redevelop. And a lot of our development that we're doing here is not redeveloping anything except raw ground. Where that Brain Institute you're talking about, there was nothing ever there except some sagebrush and some snakes. So we have new development also. I think that's important to know that we do support new development downtown along with that redevelopment. In some of the Ward 3 projects that we see here, there was some older houses there or whatever that maybe we should have saved that we didn't. Now we have these high-rises going up. And we are bringing people from all over the valley, all over Southern California, I guess, from everywhere, to live in our downtown area. But that is new development. And I think that there is a distinction between the new development and the redevelopment that we have. And we see many redevelopment projects, but I know I've been in Las Vegas for many, many years, and when you talk about Fremont Street, you talk about teenagers going up and down, driving up and down from one end to the railroad down to the Blue Onion. And it was that was all there was, a couple motels and stuff. So there wasn't really that much to redevelop. We built something downtown, and it's really important that we understand that we had a couple clothing stores, and we had a 6-lane bowling alley off the side. We had a lumber yard, and we had Sears and Roebuck and J.C. Penney's. And then the hotels, we had a couple movie theaters way back when. And so you look at the Streamline Towers, that's brand new development. And I just can't state it enough. It is important that people understand that we do have a new development. Maybe in 40 years from now, when a lot of us aren't here anymore, they'll have to come in here and redevelop what we built. I hope so. Anyhow, Your Honor, it was a great report, and I move to accept the report.
No, what I'm going to do is if you wanted to be heard publicly, I'll give you more time at the citizens' participation. Okay. Let's vote, please. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 8 is citizens' participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the Redevelopment Agency. No subject may be acted upon by the Redevelopment Agency unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please step up to the podium, and if you want more than the 3-minute clock, please indicate that, and we'll give it to you.
Tom McDonald, Las Vegas resident. Regarding the previous item that didn't have public comment, just 2 quick footnotes. Verge is located at the intersection of Main Street and Bonanza. That's Stewart. Second note, the 5th Street school damage, according to the news reports, was $250,000, not $1 million. But that's close enough for jazz. Thank you. And I also would recommend that you approve the report, including corrections. Here's some information that the mayor requested of me some time ago. Gabby, if you'll hand this up, please. It's called Club Freedom USA. And it's a very important project for that being located downtown. It will be a reality in February of 2008, with or without anybody's support. But that is what will take place. If you look on the overhead, you will see several proposals for venues, world-class venues, to be located in Fremont East, because Fremont East needs more than 2 or 3 venues. It's very important. The El Cortez Hotel is significant because it's predominantly located centrally in Fremont East, and the improvements that they have made are to the El Cortez Hotel. But Fremont East has to succeed as a holistic entity. That means several venues, not just 2 or 3, and not just one hotel. But there has to be a magnet attraction for the entire area. I want to also mention in passing the Gold Spike property may very well turn out to be the most important property site in all of downtown, because it is the linchpin property that will serve as the continuity of patronage interest interface, linking the CIM, Fremont Square, and Fremont East. If it is underdeveloped by any new owners or operators, that would be a mistake. So my proposal for development of it will be submitted and presented to the owners for their review and consideration if they want it. They don't have to have it, but unless that's a major magnet attraction on that property, it will be another Indianapolis. Remember that. and you heard it here in Las Vegas City Council. I don't require any more time. You can give that to some other person. Thanks.
Thank you.
Name is Anthony Hodges, 123, Sir David. When you had your agenda this morning for the redevelopment, and the way he came across was so beautiful. And then Reese made a statement about new development and old development, but they both can work together and become, that's going to always be beautiful. But there's 4 landmarks in Nevada I'm praying that they keep long after I'm gone. One of them, it starts with one in Reno, then there's Tonopah got the Mess Park, and Goldfield got the old Goldfield Hotel, and then we got the Golden Gate downtown on that corner. If they can save those buildings over the years in this great state, you know what I'm saying? These are landmarks. So I mean, build up everything, all kinds of high-rise, whatever. Bring people downtown and get them out of their cars. So you got to think of a way that we can save on the environment, bring the people back downtown, because see, this can be a metropolis downtown. It's like the Strip's doing this thing. This place is wonderful. It's really growing a lot. And I've been coming to Nevada for 40-some years, and I know somebody made something about downtown. Reese also said something about the theater. Well, there's a picture of me in 1963 standing in front of the old Fremont Street Theater, and Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin was on the marquee. Now, that's how far back that goes. I also got a picture standing in front of where the old railroad, the train station and the old bus station in Little Park. Hello? That's how far back I go. So maybe I beat you a bit. That's not the point. The idea is I want to let you know I love this place. I love but the main thing I'm worried about is our country. All the citizens of the United States, regardless of what their origin or whatever, religions or whatever, the number one thing is this, the freest nation in the world, and our first obligation is to protect this great nation. I said it at the county yesterday. I really mean this. On my way out in death, we've got to protect freedom, because once you lose it, you can't get it back. One thing I learned in 45 years in construction as a new electrician, when we made our 3-year bargain or whatever, recontract or whatever, the contractor deal with you, it's like you had 10 electricians working, they take 2, so you had to do the work with 8. So you got a raise, but somebody lost. Furthermore, the point is, once you lose something, you can't get it back. So whatever we do, all the things are happening, let's save our country. We got our men and women fighting all over the world, but our main objective is at home. Nothing's greater than where we live in the freest nation in the world. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I'm sorry that I may have shortened your day or whatever, but I love you.
Good. I love you too. Anybody else?
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. Mr. Redevelopment, I have every confidence we'll incorporate the PowerPoint on our...
You have to identify yourself for the record.
Teddy Russell, resident of Las Vegas, and our superb website. I see the PowerPoint there for the access of all of the citizens that are so much a part of what incessantly... I will ask for more time, and I will be as brief and as succinct and as focused as possible. Right now, you go to the Greyhound bus terminal, and you face the front once you're inside. I called last night. I called the one on Teddy Road and Palace. I talked to Lois. Don't worry about a thing when it concerns the spike. There's a working partnership for a boutique, Mr. Tippin, I believe. I don't know the name of the gentleman that owns Siegel Suites, except Mr. Siegel, who is an excellent, excellent person to work for in all respects. So, God bless you. So that is a wonderfully done deal. I am incessantly overwhelmed. I cannot thank you enough, Mr. Adams. I am in amazement and wonder, and I'm a new kid. I'm an upstart. I've only been here 6 years, but I'm just constantly overwhelmed. It has taken on a life of its own. When I moved to San Diego, when I was living in San Diego, the Chargers were just moving out of Cabrillo Square, 9th and C or D, and 650 Robinson AT&T, they said, where are you from? I said, I'm from the East. I always felt like one of the wise men. They said, where are you living? I said, downtown. They said, are you a wino or are you crazy? There you are, San Diego. There is a lot of wonderful synergy and parallelism going on between San Diego. A lot of San Diego money is here working for us and gives us every confidence. it's unstoppable, and that is so super impossible. This is no secret. I talk about this all the time. This mayor is entirely amazing. He put together 5 of his best friends, knowing that he cannot profit 1 cent from this unstreamlined thing called the Streamline Tower, which is a force of majesty, of presence, of permanence. It doesn't look like it's built for 50 years, as in the Bellagio. You can't say enough good about that. This pathway, the music, when they first were playing with the sign, they showed Elfrith's Alley and then the shield for the firemen's protection. It works perfectly with the Liberty Bell. It works perfectly with the period.
I'll give you another 30 seconds, please.
You've done so well. I cannot thank you enough. That's all I have.
Very good, thank you. Would anybody else like to be heard? All right, seeing none, the redevelopment agency meeting is adjourned. Our morning session is going to begin in a minute, a couple minutes. We'll give the staff a chance to get in order, and then we'll start with our morning session.